guys, today's video is going to be a really exciting one, especially for you young girls out there who may be getting confirmated soon or who may be starting out with wearing makeup or stuff like that, because I've decided to do a MAC starter makeup kit, if you get what I mean. And I've chosen 10 different products to show you today because these are like the basic stuff that I think are good to have in your collection of makeup. And obviously you don't need them all at once, but if you're going to MAC and you want some really good basic essentials for your makeup kit, then these are really good. It can be a bit stressful if you're new to MAC and going to a MAC counter and so on, because there's always so many people at MAC and there's always like so much stuff to look at, and you know, there's just so much. And I know from personal experience, but also just by seeing a lot of young girls, they just seem so confused and so like frazzled in their minds about what to get and what to buy because there's so much to choose from. So personally, I've picked out 10 of those products that I think are essentials if you're starting out with makeup, and hopefully this can help you. Let's start out with the base because that's what we need to start out with. And I've chosen this little combo here. I actually kind of like mix these two, so these are actually one product. The first thing here is a nice primer, and this is the MAC Prep+Prime Natural Radiance, and this is for those of you who've got yellow undertones in your skin. The thing is that either you've got yellow undertones in your skin or else you've got like pink undertones in your skin. You can also be kind of natural, so you can kind of like go between both of them, but most of us, we've got like more yellow or more pink undertones. I've got kind of like yellow undertones in my skin, and the way that you can see that is actually just to look at your skin. If your veins look kind of like blue-greenish, which mine does, I don't know if you can see it, then you've just got more yellow undertones in your skin. So that is a kind of like easy way to see it, just to look at your skin obviously. But if you're still kind of unsure about your skin's undertone, don't hesitate to ask the MAC girls because they will for sure help you. But a nice primer is very important, just to make sure that you've got a nice base to keep your makeup steady during the day. That is really what this is made for. It is made to make your makeup last much longer and also apply much better and much more evenly on your skin. So this is a really good like starting out product because it will just make sure that nothing goes on cakey or looks weird or anything like that. And it is honestly just translucent. When it comes out, it is kind of like this yellow tone, but when you blend it in, it just goes totally translucent, and it actually gives a bit of like a radiance to your skin as well, which is really nice. So it gives kind of like a glow. So it's just a really nice base, and as you can see, you can't even tell you're wearing it. So just a really nice base. Then to go with a face primer, I've chosen the MAC Face and Body Foundation. This is one of my personal favorite foundations of all of those that I've got in my collection because it is so lightweight, it is water-based, so it feels very natural on the skin. You can't really tell that you're wearing it when it's on your skin. As you can hear, it is really watery, and you really have to shake it so well before you use it. And I think this one is great once again for that younger skin because it doesn't really give too much coverage. It's a very sheer to light coverage, but you can build it up and you can mix it with other foundations if you want a bit more coverage as well. So it's just a really nice starting out foundation. If you've got any troubled skin or you just have something that you want to conceal, I think why not go all out there and go for one of the most covering concealers. I've chosen to show you the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I would not recommend you to use this one under the eyes because it's way too heavy. Then go for the Moisture Cover Concealer, something like that. Something that's a bit more moisturizing and much more light in texture, because this one is a thick boy. Seriously, it's a very thick texture, and therefore I would not recommend it for the under eye area. But for spots and stuff like that, it is so good. And because it's a bit thicker in texture, you don't really need to apply it that much to actually cover whatever you need to cover. So you don't really use too much at a time. So if you're not really into like that liquidy foundation thing, and if you just want a nice powder, I would highly recommend you to try the MAC Studio Fix powder. This is actually the highest covering powder that they've got from MAC. And the thing that's nice about this one is that it can stand on its own as a foundation powder, but you can also use it just to set your foundation if you've used a liquid foundation and so on. It will just mattify a bit and make sure that the makeup lasts a bit longer as well. You can definitely build it up from a light to a full coverage Obviously you can't really see it because it's a powder, you're not supposed to see it, but honestly I would just really recommend this one. And it actually comes with a little sponge as well if you like to use that. A sponge will give you a much more heavy application, whereas a powder brush would just give you a very light coverage. So it definitely depends on what you want. Moving on to a bronzer, I would say contouring and so on is for those of you who are a bit older, but bronzer is okay, I think, especially for summer, because it just gives a really nice glow to the skin without being too much. And the bronzer that I think is the standard bronzer from MAC is obviously the matte bronzer. This is called matte bronze because it's their only like truly matte bronzer. I would say it's got a light to medium coverage. You definitely have to build it up. It's right there on me. So I think it will suit most skin tones if you ask me. Maybe those of you who are really dark, it may be too light for you. It is not like a heavy bronzer, so you definitely have to build it up before it really shows up. It just gives a bit more dimension to your face, which is why I love a bronzer. So this is a really good bronzer from MAC. Then let's move on to a blush. I think blusher can make such a huge difference in the skin and in your face because it can just make you look so much more alive and so much more fresh and youthful and beautiful. So I think a nice blush is definitely an essential. The best MAC blush that I can recommend you guys is actually the one called Melba. This is a matte bronzer, so once again it looks very natural. It just blends in perfectly. And it has got the right amount of peach and the right amount of coral without being too peachy coral, if you get what I mean. It looks very natural on the cheeks and it's just really beautiful once it gets on. It is right there. Obviously now I've built it up, but as you can see, it looks really beautiful. And lastly, for the skin, a nice highlighter. You can use a highlighter for very, very, very different things. You can use it to highlight on your cheekbone right here, on your nose, to make your lips appear bigger, and you can also use them as eyeshadows if you're really adventurous, which I like to do actually because it gives a really nice shine to the eyes. But the one that I've chosen is obviously MAC's Soft and Gentle Mineralized Skin Finish. This is just the perfect highlighter, if you ask me, for all skin tones. It doesn't matter whether you're really pale or really dark, it just looks so pretty. And it's got like this champagne-y, bronzy color, which is so beautiful on the cheeks. I think it's an amazing highlighter. It is right there. Just look at that sheen it gives. It looks so beautiful, just so healthy. It can really make you look healthy if you just have a little bit of a play on the cheeks, and I love this one. I just think it's so gorgeous, and the color is great on the lids as well, just as a nice like all over lid color. Let's move on to the eyes. I want to show you one of MAC's paint pots, which is my absolute favorite to use as either an eyeshadow on its own, as a base, primer. It is just amazing. It is called Soft Ochre and it's one of their Pro Longwear paint pots. It is from the Pro Longwear range, so it's going to last for a really, really long time. There's also the one called Painterly, but I think that's too cool tone for me. So if you've got warm or yellow undertones in your skin as me, I think Soft Ochre is a better like choice, rather than if you've got pink undertones, then go for Painterly. Just be aware of one thing: if you use this one as an eyeshadow primer, your eyeshadows will be much more. Then I've chosen to show you a multiple use product, which is one of their eyeshadows. This is the one called Omega, and this is in a matte finish, and you can use this both in your brows, but you can also use this as an eyelid like color. So you can use it as an eyeshadow, but also in your brows. This is probably best for those of you who are like blonde or kind of like this kind of hair color. It looks really, really good in the brows, and it is very easy to use. You just use an angled eyeshadow brush to pick up the product and then use it in your brows. And if you want to use it as an eyeshadow, obviously use it with a nice like blending brush. The 217 from MAC is really good. And you can use this one in the crease and it just looks amazing. It's a really great transition color and just, you know, like just standard all over the lid color if you just want a really natural look. Last things for the eyes is a good mascara. I always say that mascara does such a huge difference to the eyes. Mascara is just like the thing that just captures people's eyes and attention and go like, whoa! So a really good mascara is an essential, definitely. The one that I've chosen to show you is the one called Extended Play Gigablack Lash. And this is good because it is water resistant. So if you've got any trouble with like a, I don't know, like a smudgy mascara, go for this one because it will not go anywhere during the day, and it also just lengthens your lashes really well. It is not really that volumizing if you ask me, but it does give some really good looking lashes, and I always use this one for especially my bottom lashes because it is that water resistant, so it just stays on the lashes for the entire day. The brush looks like this, and it's actually really long and thin, and therefore it's really easy to work with. I think if you're new to like using mascara or stuff like that, then chubby mascara brushes, they can be so difficult to work with, whereas these small tinier ones are much easier for you to get into the corners of the eyes without touching your skin and stuff like that. So this is a really great starting out mascara, and this is just in the color black, so I would always say go for black mascara because it just looks the best. And we've come to the final product in this MAC starting out makeup kit, and it is obviously a lipstick, and there are so many different finishes and so many different lipsticks from MAC. You have no idea. There's so many great ones as well. I think for those of you girls who are new to makeup and who haven't really tried out that much makeup and that much lipsticks and lip products, go for a very neutral shade. The one that I've chosen today is my perfect and personal favorite nude pinky lipstick. This is the one called Hue. I've talked about this so much on my channel. It looks like a shade lighter than my own natural lip color, but it still looks very natural, so it doesn't draw too much attention to my lips. This is in a glaze finish, so it gives a kind of like sheen to your lips and looks really fresh and healthy, but it also feels very creamy on the lips, so that's why I like it. It's not drying at all, and it will last on your lips for about 3-4 hours. It is not a long wearing like lipstick at all. It does go off if you drink or eat or stuff like that, but it is a really lovely color and a really lovely finish and like feeling on the lips, so it's definitely one of my absolute favorites. However, one thing that I feel like I have to mention is that this is not a good color for those of you who are really tanned. If you've got really dark skin, go for something that's darker. I would say Brave or Faux is probably some good ones for those of you who are a bit darker but still wants a very natural lip. But once again, ask the girl at the MAC counter. She is for sure going to help you to find the perfect shade for your lips. And that was all from my MAC starter kit. I really hope that you found this helpful. This video was made especially for those young girls out there who are starting out wearing makeup and you just want some really good basic essentials that will just make you look really fresh and healthy. And also these are really good for those of you who are getting confirmated, and if you need some like wishes or some birthday wishes, whatever, these are just amazing products. So if this video could help you in any way, please don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel and leave a nice comment down below letting me know if there's any of these products that you've got or if there's any MAC products that I should try out, because there's so much, so maybe I should try some new products, who knows. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, whatever, and until I see you next time, have a really nice day. Bye! The reason why I decided to do this video now is because this is generally the bag that I use at the moment, so